The funny thing is most people don't know that. The G League is a completely developmental league. So it's one of the hardest things about the G League is that a lot of the fans want to get connected to players. Going through that transition kind of together was good too.
This is an international podcast transmission. Is anyone out there? If you're listening, you've reached the No Fixed Agenda podcast.
This is a good one to end the calendar year on.
This is the one, dude.
I mean, this is a good one. We've been, unfortunately, not able to do this. And I think it actually kind of fell in a right spot where we could this in the calendar year on it because Sean's schedule has been really crazy. So.
Welcome to sports.
Baby. We were just talking about all the events.
So, welcome everybody back to No Fixed Agenda. We're sitting here today with Sean Bowers, the president of the San Diego Clippers and the San Diego Sockers. Now, you're also the VP of Front Wave?
Yeah, executive vice president for sports.
There you
on
go.
The sports side, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
The Clippers and the Sockers moved to the new Front Wave Arena here last year, and it's been a huge, as you and I kind of chatted off air, it's been kind of this huge uptick in the economy and San Diego's like the Oceanside sports enthusiasts, right? It's like, so it's been this really big like lift, I think, to this area. And Oceanside's doing a really great job in developing that entire area over there, bringing in
gas stations and restaurants.
Exactly. So it's really great to have that there. So I'm excited to chat with you about how that kind of got there, like what the process was. And then again, the San Diego Clippers, as I told you, that's where the Clippers should be here in town.
Yep, exactly.
They should be a San Diego.
Should be here in town. They should have never been.
We need a basketball team.
Exactly. So it's interesting to me how they came from Ontario.
Sure.
And I kind of wanted to, I want to get that story and how the Sockers and everything else, all this comes together, as I said before. But I want to kind of give a little bit of backstory on who you are and how you got into this position. As you and I chatted beforehand, you are raised in the soccer community.
Right, yeah.
So go ahead and, if you could kind of give our listeners a little bit of backstory on who you are.
Sure. Talking about myself, huh? So I grew up in San Diego, right? I grew up in San Diego, went to Memories High School, we were talking about earlier, and then went away to play college in Illinois. So I think we're kind of similar in Illinois, right? Quincy, Illinois, which was a huge NAIA school at the time. They won national championships, but then they went to D1. So played soccer there and then came out. And at the time, there really wasn't too many places to play soccer. There was indoor, that was still happening, but the old outdoor league, because there was no MLS at the time, was the APSL, and that was kind of getting, a lot of teams were dropping out of it. So came back home and tried out for the San Diego Sockers in 1991. Played a couple games, wasn't good enough at the time, put me on a developmental team, and then I went away and played in the Midwest again in Detroit. So it kind of had a career of indoor for about 4 or 5 years. Detroit, came back, played in Anaheim for a year, played in Sacramento for a year.
Wow.
And then the MLS started. So the MLS started in 1996. And it just so happened that the old coach of the San Diego Sockers, Ron Newman, and if you don't know him, you should look him up because he's a huge figure in indoor soccer and American soccer, actually ended up being the head coach in Kansas City.
Wow.
So, and him and I go way back because I grew up watching the Sockers, was connected to him, played for him in 1991 and got drafted in the MLS in 96, played 4 years in the MLS in Kansas City, and then went back and played indoor soccer again from 2000 to 2003, which led me back to San Diego and played for the San Diego Sockers in 2003 through 2000.
How long have the Sockers been around?
Since 1978.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so they've been,
Jesus.
Right?
I had no idea.
But the funny thing is most people don't know that. Most people don't know the Sockers have been. And so growing up at Memories High School, going there, we used to go to San Diego Sockers games when they used to draw 15,000 people at Pechanga Arena.
Yeah.
So where have they always played down in the Pechanga Sports Arena area until they got up here?
For the most part.
Okay.
So they played down in Pechanga until 2005. So I played for the Sockers 2003, 2004, 2005. Our owner folded the team, and then it went defunct for about 4 or 5 years. And then Phil, who is now the owner of the arena, also brought the Sockers back in 2009, brought me out of retirement and a couple other guys.
You were talking about this. How old are you? when that
41,
happened? He was
yeah.
41.
Oh, you were 41?
41, he started to play soccer again.
Against 20
You want to talk about groins, bro.
And I would not recommend it. So just so you know, but I did it for a year. We won the championship, and then I retired again. But he brought a bunch of older players back. So guys that we used to play in the MLS.
Okay.
Paul Wright was one of them who's a retired number in the rafters. Braden Cloutier came back. So guys that used to play back in the day came back and played 1 year. It was awesome. But we played in Del Mar. So we played at Del Mar Fairgrounds.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we played there 2009. I played 1 year and then retired, and then they played till 2012. Went back to Pechanga.
Yeah.
To Pechanga, and then just till recently, last year was our first year in Front Wavering.
Wow. The Philip Rivers of San Diego
Soccer,
Sockers.
bro. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? That was back in the day. Yeah. I guess I created that before Philip did, right? But then, so then when I moved back, I got into coaching, and then I was a junior college at Miramar College, and I was a Kines major, got my master's in Kines. Coached out for 10 years, and then Phil came to me and was like, hey, I know you played, but now I'm out of general manager. I need you to come back and be GM.
Yeah.
And then through the carrot of, oh, yeah, by the way, we're going to build an arena in Oceanside. And I'm like, yeah, right. That's not going to happen. Come on, man. Like, if you know soccer players.
I think your words off air were, he was full of shit,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Soccer players, for most part, some of them are all full of shit. So, so I'm like, yeah, that's really going to happen. But then he's like, yeah, it's going to happen. So as we were going through the process, I had a lot to do in the terms of information, and we went to see a lot of different arenas around the country, and went to Dallas and how it works there. In fact, one of the things that like we saw in Dallas, we were going to have a center hung in our arena. So a lot of arenas, older arenas, Pechanga, have a center hung scoreboard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When we went to Dallas, they didn't have one. They actually had big screens on each side, and they also had Lillard screens around the whole. So it's almost like you can look anywhere and you kind of see a scoreboard.
Yeah.
That changed the complexion of our arena, because we'd end up not doing a center hung because the roof was too low and the weight. So now we put two big scoreboards on the side and changed the whole dynamic of our arena.
Oh.
Wow. That's
So things like that. So yeah, so then he's like, you're gonna have, we're gonna have an arena. I'm like, yeah. And then we end up, 5 years later breaking ground, and we're now 1 year into the process.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how long was that? 5 years was how long it took them to get?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, the land was the city land, putting up the Sockers for collateral for, as a team, and that's really the only thing that we had at that particular time. And that's why the San Diego Clippers were so important.
Yeah.
Right, is having another tenant in the building.
Wow.
So let's talk about the Clippers real quick, because I learned a lot just in the quick conversation that we had, right? So it's interesting and I don't know how many people or how many, like what the listeners know about the NBA and the G League and how that's all set up. And
how many leagues are there, first of all? Because there's like a few of them, right? It's not just.
Well, you've got the NBA, obviously,
Right,
and then the G League is there. But then there's a couple, like, I don't want to call them semi-pro, but there's a couple like lower tiers that don't really have any affiliation whatsoever. But
with the NBA,
with
right?
the
G League is connected to the NBA. So the G League is a completely developmental league. So it's one of the hardest things about the G League is that a lot of the fans want to get connected to players, right? So like Philip Rivers for the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Or Tatis for the Padres.
Right.
But in the G League, players move. Right? Players don't just stay on a team. So last year, our starting five in the very first game, after the Showcase Cup, which is this week, last year, we had none of our starting five on our team anymore.
Wow.
Because they get taken up by the other teams.
Wow.
So unless they're two-way players, your two-way players are secure, which is two of them. But everybody else, someone can just come right in and take somebody off your roster in a heartbeat and give them a two-way contract.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy and how that works, right? Well, what I think is interesting is just what you said is, even though they play for the Clippers organization, somebody else can come in and
anytime
and grab them, which is kind of a weird thing when it comes to the quote unquote minor league system.
Mm-hmm.
Really, like baseball, hockey, everybody's kind of tied to
Correct.
For a
that
season.
organization. Well, it's kind of like your baseball is AAA all the way down to AA. You're all still connected to that one team, right? Like Padres have their
You work
affiliations,
your way up the leagues.
and unless you're traded, that's the only time you're a free agent, whatever it is. That's the only time another team can't come in and grab it. It's different with the NBA, which is so weird to me.
Yeah, well, I think one is about again, the importance of the G League is developmental, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of movement because, like the LA Clippers, even though not doing well this year, but they're strong in certain positions. But if you have a strong person at the G League for those positions, there's nowhere for them to go.
Yeah.
So then a team will come in like, hey, that's a good player. We're going to offer them a two-way contract, which means it's an NBA contract and a G League contract. So they're guaranteed a certain amount of money, right? So they come into G League, let's just hypothetically, they're making $50,000 and they go to the Utah Jazz and they can be a two-way. Well, that's a $500,000
Yeah.
pop, right? And everybody's happy for them because that's great for them, right?
Yeah.
They're making $500,000. We lose out. And I think the hard part of it, and there's a few hard parts of the G League, is everybody wants to identify with players on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you get connected to one, and all of a sudden he's gone 2 weeks later.
But that's a hard thing to do because people come and go,
Yeah.
right? So really you have to have people need to buy into the organization. People need to buy into the San Diego Clippers as an organization and what we're trying to do for the LA Clippers. Because there is still a really big connection with the LA Clippers, and the business deal was based off of that also.
Yeah. So the other thing that is also interesting with the G League is these teams don't know who's going to be on their team until about a week or two
Before the season starts.
It's kind of like you got to go through all of the preseason stuff with the NBA, who gets onto the teams, who's getting a two-way contract, whatever. So we were talking about, I was like, that's what is, and you talk about the connection, right? Locally is somebody here in San Diego, like, oh, they follow a certain player that might've been on the team last year. They're not guaranteed to be there this year. And you don't even know if they're going to be on the team until a week in advance of the schedule starting. So,
Yeah, the turnover. So I'll give you an example. So this year, I think we have one returning player from last year.
Wow.
So they've either gone somewhere else or they've gone abroad.
Yeah.
They've gone to Europe, wherever. So it's just a constant movement of players all around, right? Because it's a multi-billion-dollar business in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
And they're always looking for that special player, that one person, that one player that can put them over the top, right?
Or that melds with the current team that
Right.
they're moving to, all that stuff. Imagine if the Clippers moved to San Diego, though. What kind of connection would that be?
Yeah, there you go.
That would be awesome, dude.
Yeah,
well, Clippers are building a new stadium in LA, right?
it's already built.
It's already built next year.
Into it. No,
Oh, they're in it now.
It's already in it now.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So they actually, ironically, were building their Intuit Dome as we were building our Front Wave Arena.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
Except, the cost is 10
Yeah,
times as
yeah.
much as Intuit
Just a
Dome.
little bit.
Yeah, just
How big
just
is
a
that
little.
facility?
Yeah, it's like 10 times the amount of ours. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. But going through that transition kind of together was good too, because they were going through things and we were going through things, There's all these problems that you have getting into a new building.
When you talk about the new buildings, like when you're talking about how pivotal it was to have Clippers as a tenant there, what other tenants, how do you guys go about getting tenants, first of all, and what other tenants are you guys pursuing?
Sure. Well, that's really my job. My job is to go out and get tenants to the building, right? So, putting the Clippers deal together, and that was about a year long, putting that together in terms from the business side. It's really never been done at the G League level because usually you would have the Sacramento Kings that would just own their G League team, and that's what would happen. We put a business plan together where the LA Clippers are still involved, but we've taken over the arena, the ticketing, the marketing.
Oh, wow.
So we have a piece of the pie of that part of it. So we run it like it's ours, but they take the operational side. So the players and the coaches, they deal with that. They pay with all them. So it's kind of a unique plan, a business plan that we put together. And a lot of the G League teams are now trying to model that plan. So it's pretty cool. But so we have, and that, the Clippers, we have the Sockers, obviously, that would Phil own that team, bringing them up there. And then also we have Strike Force, which is the arena football. We actually
Wait. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So now we have Strike Force. They used to be at Pachanga. So they used to be a tenant down there and they
cool.
moved up here. We got them up here.
Changa doesn't like you guys then, huh?
No. No, they don't. Although we still get along.
Yeah.
But, the funny thing is that Pechanga is just such a different venue, right? Number one, it's older, right?
Yeah.
It's unique in that because it is older. But it holds 12, 13, 14,000. We hold 6,000 or 7,000. So
Okay.
it's really different, the style of concerts that you get. Maybe not really for sports wise, but concerts, sometimes sporting events, but it really deals with on the concert side more, right? Like if you have for instance, like an Ice Cube that wants to come in, he wants to sell 12,000 tickets. Well, he'll have to do 2 nights with us,
Right.
Yeah.
or he does 1 night down there. We're there. So it just depends what the artist is looking for.
Mm.
We also just signed the Oceanside Bombers, which is also arena football, which is a local community-based arena football team. They play in the AF1. So
Okay.
Strike Force plays.
I'm learning so much today. Like,
Isn't
I
that
had
crazy?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
that
It's
was
good to
a-
know. So
Yeah.
they're competing against each other because it's in terms of it's the same time frame. So March through July-ish.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty same audience as well for
yeah,
the people that are.
Yeah. So Strike Force is in the IFL
Mhm.
and Oceanside Bombers is in the AF1. So they're 2 different leagues,
Okay.
which technically compete against each other in terms of trying to get,
Okay.
so it's kind of unique to have them
Wow.
both in our building. But the Oceanside Bombers is a very community-based led team. All the owners are from Oceanside.
Ah.
Wow.
So
I've never
it's
even heard
pretty
of them,
awesome
dude.
business. Felix's Barbecue is part of it. I don't know if you guys ever been to Felix's
Yeah.
Dude,
Barbecue. Yeah.
who hasn't? If you're,
I know.
yeah.
If you're local,
If you're a local,
you've
you
been to
haven't been to
Felix's.
Felix.
So just to plug them a little bit, so they are a huge sponsor of us from the sports side. So they
Oh.
sponsor the Clippers and the Soccers. They do all of our
Okay,
meals for all of the teams. So they're pretty awesome.
yeah, their food is phenomenal.
Yeah,
dude.
and then we get not from a tenant perspective, but then we have different events that come in. So like we were talking earlier, MMA is going to be coming in August. We have a couple boxing events. OTX Boxing's coming in.
That's cool.
International War Games is coming in. Kind of one-offs. We have a CIF basketball, high school basketball playoffs coming in our building.
Oh.
USA basketball is coming in. So USA, the World Cup is coming up for soccer,
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
just
So
had
they have a
selections.
World Cup for US for basketball.
Okay.
And it happens every 4 years,
Mhm.
and you have to qualify. So in order to get to the World Cup, you have to qualify in CONCACAF. That's where USA. So USA basketball has to qualify in CONCACAF, and we're hosting 2 of those games against Dominican Republic and Mexico.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Oh.
Wow.
again, that's something that we're trying to bring all different types of sports and genres. And then we just signed a deal with BMX biking. So BMX is going to come in and put a racing component inside our building and do racing in it.
Oh wow,
How-
that's gonna be
how,
tight.
how are they going to do that?
It's
dude?
good. Well, they're going to build modules. So,
Okay.
wood modules that
Wood
come in with
yeah.
a big jump. And then they have it'll be a track and it'll based on time, how you get through the track.
Yeah.
And there'll be 12 races through 12 weeks. And then there'll be a championship at the end.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, I haven't had BMX. Like
Right?
ESPN back in the day, bro. Like
Yeah.
in the 90s, bro. You're going to sit down on a Saturday, watch BMX people just flipping around. You're like, that's pretty cool. I'd just get lost in it for a little bit.
Right.
But yeah,
Well, we're going to have
that's
that in our building and it's going to be international. It'll be on ESPN. It's going to be awesome.
Which is crazy because a lot of that now you kind of see at Petco and the
Right?
larger
The
stadiums.
larger,
You don't see it in
yeah.
the smaller venues, which would be from a local's perspective. That's really cool that something like that is coming to Oceanside. So
Yeah. And I think the difference of our arena maybe to other arenas, not only just size, but also it's kind of like Europe. Have you ever been to Europe? So my son played in Denmark. My wife and I were there visiting him and we're walking down the street, all these houses. And then all of a sudden you got this stadium in the middle of a residential spot. And it's kind of like that here in terms of the community is very connected to this arena.
Yeah.
Whereas you have like Pechanga, not so much, right? Viejas, not so much. Ours is everything we do is based off the community.
But I think Pechanga and Viejas, those arenas are kind of in the sticks, if you will. I mean,
Correct.
It's hard to get to, right?
Right?
they're a
Versus-
pain in the ass to get to.
Yeah, dude. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's either like a 2-lane road to get there.
Yeah.
And it takes so much time to get there. But you got Frontway that's right in the middle of Oceanside, which is relatively easy to get to.
I refuse to go to VA House just because you got to go into campus.
Yeah.
Right?
To get
and,
there.
and that really is a campus
It is.
gymnasium
It
in that
is.
sense, right?
And
It's a great venue in terms of, I think it's 6,000, 7,000. If you've ever been in it, it goes straight up. It's great.
It's a great venue.
But it's a San Diego State. That's
Yeah.
where everybody plays for San Diego State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the parking there is terrible. Like
Yeah.
you go there, you're just like drive around for 40 minutes just trying to find a parking garage just to do it. You know, going to Pechanga, it's a little bit, like we said, it's a little bit older.
Yeah.
It needs a refresh.
It does.
And it's not as fun to go into anymore.
Right.
And so coming here, you can kind of feel you can see the newness at the modern aspects of the stadium. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit tight on the parking, some like getting in and getting out sometimes, but it's an easy access, right? It's 5 minutes off the 5, it's 5 minutes off the 78, you know, so it's easy access to get in a couple different spots, which makes it a great stadium for a lot of different people out here.
And then like the surrounding area too has been newly developed as well. So it's not like you're not driving into the sticks, you're driving into a brand new developed
So I'm
community.
quite interested though, like with all the development goes around, does the owners of Front Wave and all the executive, is there something that goes on to, hey guys, we're going to try and put commercial property around the arena? Do you guys have any input as far as what the city is looking to put in around that area?
No, not really. And it's pretty much already planned already.
Yeah.
So you know, I think we're helping. There's the parking lot, our premium parking lot right across the street from that's going to be 2 soccer fields. And I think we're helping build those in terms of financially.
Yeah.
Even though we have a 26 field one that's out there anyway, but it might be turf. So we're helping in growing that area.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to tell you is one of the reasons why Front Wave was built was because we were spending too much money at Pechanga, right? So I mean, we're spending $300,000 a year just on our books for the Soccers. But also more importantly, when you come into Front Wave Arena, if you look in the second level on one side, we have 16 premium suites where Pechanga had none.
Wow.
And
That's
so
right,
we're able to sell those for any event that comes in our building on a premium space. And premium space is very valuable from not only from a sports perspective, but even from a concert perspective. We just had KSON in our building. Every suite was sold out.
Oh yeah, the country concert, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything was sold out, but the premium was sold out. From a revenue standpoint, that's where you make a lot of money too, is from that revenue that's on the premium side. Because people, someone wants to come see, Willie Nelson in concert, they're going to spend whatever they want. They don't care.
Yeah.
Especially on the premium side.
Willie Nelson is a country artist.
You
who's
know what though? I'm going to shock you right now, bro. I'm going to shock you right now. I know Willie Nelson. You know why? Because he's known for smoking weed, bro.
Yeah,
I figured it wasn't for his music.
Yeah, it wasn't for it. Back in the day, bro. Willie Nelson was the one cool country artist that was like getting high on stage.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. I sometimes I have to explain the country genre to you.
That's all right.
Garth Brooks and Willie Nelson, I got, bro.
That's it. Yeah.
It's all the other new stuff that you got me messed
Garth
up on,
Brooks,
bro.
love that guy. Love that Garth Brooks guy.
Like, missed me with all that other stuff.
Got it. Fair enough.
At least he knows Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Now, so
At least
we're good.
he does. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's good. Thank God. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the Clippers a little bit more too, because the whole entire they were in Ontario prior to.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know this. You told me this earlier. Is they were in a stadium of 700 to 1,000 people that was run down, I guess.
Well, that was the Lakers. So the Lakers. So the backstory of this is that the Lakers. I have a connection to the Lakers because the guy that runs the Lakers, the head of business operations, is a soccer guy. So he used to run the LA United that played out of the Forum
Okay, there you
for
go.
the CISL. So he used to run that team. He was the general manager, and then it went defunct, like a lot of indoor teams do, or leagues. And then he made the transition to the Lakers. So, and he's built his way up. So now he's the business. So when we're building the arena, I'm like, I'm just going to his name's Tim Harris. I'm going to reach out to Tim Harris. And because the Lakers play in a little, and they still do, in a little attendance is like 700 max that they hold. It's at their sponsor, Health. I don't know what Health, it could be, can't remember, United Health, or I can't remember what it is. So I went to him and said, hey, why don't you come down here? We got a 7,000 seat stadium, and your brand awareness, the Lakers are now going to be in San Diego, right? So you're putting that back out there to get new fans. So they thought about like, nah, we can't do it. So it just so happened that 2 weeks later, I got an email from the Ontario Clippers general manager and said, we can't stand playing here in Ontario for whatever reason it was. I'm not quite sure. We weren't getting good attendance. And I heard you got a new arena.
Ooh.
And that's actually how it started.
Wow.
So we brought him
That's
down.
cool.
We took him on a tour. And then from that time for about a year later is when we put the business deal together. So we did a business deal with Gillian, who is the president of the LA Clippers, and their CFO. And we put a business deal together, and they're going to take care of this part, and we're going to take care of that part. And it's been awesome since.
Wow.
How much of a connection, I guess, is there? Like, do you have to work with the Clippers on everything? Like you said, you guys handle all of the stadium type of stuff, but is there any like overflow or crossover between what you guys have to go through with them to with the team being here and all that stuff?
A little bit, there's always going to be crossover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even in the first year, there's some things that we didn't know that we were supposed to do through the G League and the NBA that
Yeah.
LA Clippers know or knew.
Yeah.
How things, for instance, like social media, things that like for the Soccers, we just put things up. Like we
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
anybody watching over us. For the NBA, that's a whole different ball game.
Okay,
Like
so I'm glad you brought that up.
What music you put on there, if you have licenses to put that on there, like we learned the hard way in terms
Right.
of put something up, and
You're
I
like,
get
"You
a
gotta
call.
take that down." Yeah.
I get a call from their council going, "What are you guys doing?" We're
Yeah.
like, "Wow, this is what we do for the Soccers." Like, "Oh yeah, this is."
It's not
the
gonna work.
Soccers is a
Yeah.
$100,000. This is a multi-billion-dollar
Yeah.
business, and so you really have different rules that you have to follow. So we learned a lot of those, merchandise, licensing,
That's interesting.
right? Like
so
how
you guys are doing some of the social media stuff for the
we do
Clippers?
all the social media. For
Oh,
the
okay.
But they have to follow the rules now. Of
Well,
what-
we have
what
to.
the
Yeah,
NBA
we
what
do all the
NBA
marketing. So internally, we do all the marketing. So the Clippers are our team. So we market them, and then we sell all the tickets for them. We get all the revenue from them. The LA Clippers do everything from a basketball operational side. So they do they pay all the players, all the trades, the coaching. They do all of that. So there's not really too much of a mix in between. There's a little bit of gray area, but not much. And if there hits it, we're all pretty open.
I would
to it.
assume financially too, though, right? I mean, you're selling tickets for their team, right? There's obviously an operational cost for the facilities, but there's also, I mean, is the funding for the players and the coaches coming directly from the NBA or as part of the facility revenue?
No, it comes completely from the LA Clippers.
Okay.
The LA Clippers have their own budget
Got
for
it.
the operations.
Got it.
And our budget, we don't. So every ticket we sell, we make 100% of that revenue that comes to us,
Wow.
Oh, okay.
right? So there's a business deal that we turn around and pay the Clippers an annual fee for doing that.
Got it.
But we get all ticket revenue, even the LA Clipper game that's in our building. So we get one preseason game from the LA Clippers that come in and play. So they played. We get 100% of that revenue too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Actually, Ari, one of my clients went to that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like all about it.
Right? I mean, you have Kawhi Leonard, you
Yeah,
have,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
everybody in the building, right? So that's a special game for us because we do get all the revenue. It's part of how we put everything together for that.
Go ahead.
I was to stick with that when it comes to all of the licensing and stuff. Obviously, the stadium sells their own. You guys just sell your own sponsorships and all that stuff. But because there's ties to the LA Clippers and the NBA, are you connected to some of their partners?
We are.
Okay.
So, that's a little bit of the gray area too,
Okay.
right? So, because we can go in and we can sell everything we can for the San Diego Clippers, but also we have to make sure we don't step on any toes for the LA Clippers.
Got it.
One of those would be like Kaiser. So, we want to do something with Kaiser. And if they don't want to do something with Kaiser, they might put a deal together that's all encompassing. That would encompass them and us. And so we just did, so I'll give you an example. So like, kind of weird, but Visit Rwanda is a jersey sponsor of the LA Clippers.
Yeah.
And they put the San Diego Clippers in that deal.
And I saw that on the jersey, and I was like, that is the most random sponsorship
Right?
But that's the thing is Visit Rwanda. I've seen that on other teams now too.
Right?
It's like it's such a weird.
The dynamic is weird.
it's such a random thing, and I was like, this is that is so weird.
we didn't get to sell it. because we still have that asset to sell if we wanted
Yeah.
to, but the LA Clippers ended up selling it with what they did for that
Got
on
it.
our jersey too, which
Okay.
they reaped the benefits of that. We did not.
Got it. Okay, so that answers my question. I was
Yeah.
kind of curious on how all of the sponsorships
Uh-huh.
kind of flowed over from a team perspective. I know they don't have any control over the stadium
No, they don't.
sponsorship stuff,
But like we have like Front Wave Credit Union is is Front Wave Arena. So they're our title sponsor of the arena, right? So we put that deal together. But they also do deals with the actual sport teams. So Front Wave Credit Union does it with the Sockers. So if you see the jersey, they're on the back of the jersey.
Yep.
And they also do it with the Clippers. So they're on the court. So if you see it on the court, there's Front Wave Credit Union on the Front Wave Arena, but there's also Front Wave Credit Union on the court.
Yeah.
So we have our own specific sponsorships that we can do per team.
How long ago did they sell the title to the stadium? When does that happen? Because that's always interesting.
We did that. So it was myself, and at the time, still with the Sockers at the time, it was myself and the director of corporate sales for the Sockers.
Okay.
We actually, this is a good story too. We went to golf with the Front Wave Credit Union community guy. He's kind of like a VP of community. His name's Chip Dykes.
Yes, I know Chip. I used to work out in the same gym with him.
So everybody knows Chip.
Yeah,
from what I
everybody
hear.
knows Chip. We do the annual turkey trot here
There
in
you go.
Oceanside.
And he does it.
Chip's always like,
That's
shout out to you,
it.
Chip. What's up, Chip?
Yeah. So we met
Yeah.
Chip because Chip ended up sponsoring the Sockers.
Okay.
At the time. So he had 2 years into it. So we were golfing one day and we were going to put the arena title sponsor up for bid. So Josh Elias, who's our CEO, said, "Hey, we're just going to put up for bid." I'm like, "Now, give us some time, me and Shane, some time to put something together." So we were golfing with him one day, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys should be like, it should be like Front Wave Arena." Like we start talking, he's like, "Well, what would that cost?"
Wow.
Right? So then we started. I'm like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "I'm dead serious." I'm like, "Okay, well, let's have a." So we literally sat down for an hour, talked it out. And he's like, "What do you think it's going to be?" And I'm like, "Well, I'll give you a number." So I gave him a number.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that. I'm like, "Well, let's talk it through." So then we got on another phone call. Literally took us 3 phone calls. We were done. Got on another phone call, and he's like, "Well, what do you think about this?" I'm like, "It's too low." I'm like, "What do you think about this?" He's like, "Okay, it's done." So I said, "Okay." He goes, "Well, they're governed by a board. So a credit union, you have a board,
Yep.
right?" And so he's like, "I got to take it to the board on Wednesday night." I said, "Okay." So he took it to the board Wednesday night, called me in the middle of the board meeting. He's like, "They won't go for that, but will they do this?" I'm like, "Do it." Done. So, it was
Nice.
a 9-10 year deal.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Put it together, and then we just actually extended it this past year. It just happened about 2 weeks ago.
Which already shows how much they're getting.
yeah.
They're getting from it as far as the branding side.
Well,
of
yeah,
things.
and I would also think, because Front Wave Arena looks just like Front
yeah,
Wave,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I'd also say they have been very good because they are out in the community all the time.
Yes, they are.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why when I say everybody knows Chip, is because Chip is golfing and he's at the gyms and he's at, he's an old military guy.
Yeah.
I text him today. He's like, "Yeah, I'm at, Camp Pendleton doing something. I'll see you later." So, we go to Enzo's and have barbecue together. Like him and I are connected big time, even to this day, of doing things. And he's always come to the Clipper games, always come to Soccer's games. So
we got to get Chip in the mic, man.
I would
He
love
would
that.
be,
That'd be cool.
Chip.
I will
Chip's
tell you
awesome,
too, a
dude.
really quick story is that, as the arena was coming to fruition, I saw this as like an esports place. Like esports would be big here, right?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Yes,
And
it
so
would.
we were having internal conversations with Epic. Epic
Okay.
is a huge, esports,
Mhm.
and it was going to be called Epic Arena.
Oh, that would have been cool, though, too.
Right?
That would have been cool.
That would have been good too.
That would have been a
but
good
they
name
kind
right
of
there.
fell off. So we're super happy with Front Wave. I mean, they're awesome partners, and I don't see that ever changing.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
they're so plugged into the community in every aspect, in just an Oceanside alone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy what they do.
Well, it's also very rare that once the stadium name gets tagged, it takes a lot to change it over.
Like
Like,
Qualcomm. Qualcomm was Qualcomm for forever.
Forever.
dude. Forever.
Yeah, but money
Before
talks.
it was Jack,
So,
money
money
does.
talks.
Well, it was Jack Murphy before that. And
It
then
was. I went there,
and then- yeah.
But you
then
don't.
Qualcomm, now Snapdragon,
Yeah.
right?
But you don't see it. Like, and it's
It's rare.
it's
It's
very,
very rare. Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I was-
Pachanga used to be Valley View,
I remember
It used
this.
to be.
I do remember
right?
this.
So
Yeah,
what they did,
yeah, yeah,
I'm sure they went to Valley View and said, "We got another, casino that wants to come in and give us more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it more with music, like music specific venues versus like arena style.
Right.
I think it just sticks a little bit more usually. And
Yeah.
and that's for you guys. It's nice to have partners that are like that. But
Yeah, they're again community based, right?
That's-
Everything's based off of that for us. And I mean, we have a great community department. Chasen runs that, and he's in the community every single day, connecting. Visit Oceanside, you name it, we're connected to it.
That I get that from Front Wave, and I can see the partnership between you guys. And we were off air talking about the community stuff. Talk to us a little bit about what some of the community things that you guys are putting together for Oceanside.
I mean, we're involved in everything. I mean, even the Oceanside Bombers, we're connected. That was brought to me just through the mayor.
Yeah.
The mayor's connected to it, and just having all of those, Front Wave Arena. Front Wave Credit Union, we do a lot of things with them. And the other part of the community that's really big that we're connected to, we just did a 2-day soccer camp at Camp Pendleton for all of the kids at Camp Pendleton,
Oh, that's
right?
cool.
So
Wow.
one of the things that we want to make sure too is that from an arena standpoint that we're servicing everybody that's servicing the United States, right? Like that's really what you want to do. And like we were talking about MMA, like MMA is going to be crazy. The military is going to back that up big time. Come have a beer, go watch a fight. Let's really get into it. So there's a lot of things that in the community that we're connected to, even just right across the street with Oceanside soccer fields right there, right? The sports park.
Yeah.
Cardiff Soccers, which is part of the San Diego Soccers, runs a tournament that just ran at 150 teams there. It was great.
How much when it comes to putting together schedules for everything that's going on, right? Yeah, you're obviously your sports teams, your Soccers, your Clippers, your Bombers. How like intermixing in some of that one-off stuff, the KOSN concert that was here, the other BMX that's coming in. Like what's that stress level as far as like trying to like just it's like Tetris, right?
Yeah,
you're trying to like, okay, well we've got 2 weeks here. We need is it one of those things where you guys are still new enough that you're trying to bring people in versus getting groups that are like, hey, we've got a window here that we want to come in, right? So people are coming to you guys to do it. Like what's kind of the play on some of that stuff and everything else?
Yeah, I mean the calendar, when you're starting a new arena isn't super hard at the very start, right? But now that we are, we're going to have over 90 sporting events alone.
In 2026?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you got to plug those in,
Yeah.
right? And then we have for the Clippers, we have to do 50 dates that we have to give them in April, and they come back and give us 24 dates that they're actually going to play.
Yeah.
So we have to hold those 50 dates until they give us those 24 dates. Same with the Soccers. We got to give 25 dates to get, 12 dates.
Yeah.
So it is. It's like Tetris, like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Most of the time that we're open the most, or where we can put events in, is in the summer.
Yeah.
Because right now we're the busiest time. November through March, really busy.
Yeah.
With also plugging in events like CIF basketball, USA basketball, they're in February. Summer, we're a little bit more open, but now this year, like MMA's coming in, BMX is every Sunday for 13 Sundays. It's getting busier and busier. But that's, to be honest with you, it's a good problem to have.
No, it's a great problem. It's
right?
a great problem.
Because last summer, we didn't really have a lot in the building. And it's for July, August, and September, we had a lot of down months. And from a financial revenue perspective, that's not good.
How many events in a calendar year, or how many calendar dates, I should say, is the optimal for Front Wave? Because you have to look at what's accessible for staffing, what's accessible for concessions, what's accessible for everything that's happening. Like, is there an optimal number that you guys look at and be like, hey, if we had 200 dates all filled up for a calendar year, like,
I think that's a lot. 200.
Yeah, okay.
I would say we're good about 130-ish, 140-ish.
It's about half a year.
150-ish. Yeah. I mean, we do a lot of graduations.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
So
Schools?
Oceanside Unified.
Yeah.
One of the first deals we put together was for them to put all of their high schools in our building.
Oh,
so
wow.
you have Oceanside High, El Camino.
So it's all done at Front Wave.
Front Wave.
Oh,
That
cool.
takes away a nightmare for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cal State San Marcos is in our building.
Okay.
National University's been in our building. Like we have like 19 dates for graduations.
Man, that's crazy. I didn't even.
But
I didn't even
they're
consider those.
seasonal, right?
Yeah.
So you know exactly when they're going to be in there.
Exactly.
From
Yeah.
December, you have a couple in the December, and then you have all of them that are going to be in May.
Damn.
So we're very heavy May and June in graduations.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So I know that there were some other things going on in the community for some of the sporting teams, reaching out to other organizations in our community like Maricosta, shared facilities for some of the sporting things. Is that some of the stuff that you work with as well?
Yeah, and that's I'm glad you brought that up because my background's in junior college, and so when I used to be at Miramar teaching and coaching, the AD of Maricosta used to be the basketball coach at Maricosta, but now he's the AD. So when the Clippers were coming to us, they said, "Hey, we want to do our practices in your arena." And I'm like, "Well, there's no way you're going to be able to practice every practice in our arena. We got other things going on. Well, can you help us find a facility?" And it just so happened that Maricosta was building a brand new gym.
Yeah.
$450 million gym. So we got all the Clipper head honchos to come down and we walked that facility.
Yep.
And like, oh my God.
I remember this conversation, right?
Because I was trying to throw my name in the hat. I was like, they come and work out here if they want.
Right?
Like, I don't care for free. Let's just say this. Let's just say the San Diego Clippers are working out at OTH. Come on now.
Yeah. So we took them through. I mean, even the head guys came down. Lawrence was down here. All their GMs were down, and they took it. And they're like, "Oh my God, Sean, this is a junior college." And I'm like, "This is a junior college."
They just redid that.
And
whole
they did the
facility,
fitness center there
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I used to oversee at Miramar because we built a brand new fitness center. So and this one's even nicer than Miramar's. I'm like, we got to connect you guys. So now they come here and they practice when they can at our facility in the arena, and we have a weight room for them in our arena. And when they can't do it there, then they go to Maricosta.
Interesting.
Yep, keep it in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, go for it. Yeah, we were chatting with connection we had over at Maricosta, and I think at the time,
Who's that?
Carrie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie.
She's the one that I connected to do the tour with everybody was Carrie.
Yeah. So Carrie is one of my coach's clients.
Oh, okay.
And they share businesses.
Okay.
So one of my coaches does hair, and he's a fitness coach. Those
got
are
it.
two primary sources of income. And so he does Carrie's hair. He coaches Carrie from a fitness perspective. And she made the connection. He made the connection with me saying they were having logistical problems using their fitness facility. And he was like, well, I got a buddy who owns a gym. If they want to come and do some strength training there, they totally can. So,
well, I'll connect you with them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the strength and conditioning coach, like if there's days that they just do that, that's great.
Yeah.
Even with the soccers, I mean, that's another, right?
Yeah. That was the thing. It's like we just expanded our gym, and I'm like, well, how can I get people in here?
Yeah. Same as Strike Force.
Yeah.
Oceanside Bombers, they're looking for stuff like that all the time.
Yeah. And for the most part, when I was talking to Carrie, she's like, it's during non-peak times, right? And so it's in the middle of the day for the most part, but that's for them in a gym environment. Non-peak times is obviously in the middle of the day, right? Early morning, late afternoon is when we're busiest,
right?
But in the middle of the day, we really don't got a whole lot going on, right? And so that's when the school was having logistical problems because they're busy.
Yeah, because they have classes.
Because they have classes,
right?
exactly. So
they can't, from a junior college perspective, we can never be in a junior college. You can never interfere in classes. So like you're going to do something at a junior college level, you have to make sure there's no classes there at all happening during that time.
Right.
In that, whether it's the fitness center or the court or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That's always the struggle in junior college.
Yeah. So, if it gets to that point where, they need another facility just to get strength and conditioning work. I don't have a basketball court, for goodness sakes, or a soccer field, but
yeah, but it's all functional.
But it's all functional.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. And
functional.
so being able to use that as a facility for them to be able to come and train was definitely something that I was like interested in doing.
Sure.
Back then I had half the space.
It was half the space.
It was
at
half
that
the
point.
space.
Wow.
And I doubled that in space, and now they're the conversation never came up until right
Good to
now.
So from talking Maricosta and the connection there, do you guys do any other community connections to help out with, getting your athletes trained or even like massages and all that stuff? Do you connect with other community groups that way?
We do.
too?
I think, we talked about Felix's Barbecue. So they come in and they feed all of our staff on game days. So I think that's great, right? So locally we're spending money there. I know that the Clippers last year was bringing an outside vendor from Oceanside in to feed the players specifically from a nutritional standpoint. And we do the same thing with the Sockers. But yeah, I mean, we try to stay local as much as we can, even hotels. So our hotels for the Clippers and the away teams are the Seabird in Oceanside.
They stay at some good hotels.
That's
Right?
a good hotel, dude. Yeah.
And so, and I think we are at the Westin too. So we also talk the Marriotts that are right
Courtyard
here.
there.
Courtyards that are right there. We use those. We did those for the combine that we had last year for the MASL. So we try to stay very local. We try not to go outside of anything that we're doing. It's a huge plus for the community, and the community knows that we're doing that. So they buy into that also.
So if somebody was here local, you talked about a lot of the local events happening there at Front Wave, right? You talked about BMX, you talk about the Bombers, all these other things. That sounds like long-term deals, right? That are going to. But if they have like a one-off local event, I know there was a local rapper that did a concert there. Des Hawley, he did Des. You don't know, yeah, you don't, yeah.
Willie Nelson, who?
Willie Nelson, who?
Willie Nelson, who?
Yeah. He's a local Oceanside rapper, dude.
Okay, got
all right,
got it. Okay, fair enough.
But what does that take to do something like that at Front Wave?
It doesn't take a lot, really. It's just being connected to, if it's from a concert standpoint, we have a EVP of concerts, Rob Spitzer, he does that. So just get connected. And then on the sports side would be with me. So if we want to put, flag football in the arena, we can figure it out. If we want to do, I always love the high school basketball, because we already have the court. We already have everything, setting that up where you have Oceanside versus El Camino, kind of a rivalry.
Yeah.
But it's pretty simple. I mean, really, it comes down to economics, right? So it'll come down to, do you want to come in and rent the space, and rent the arena and sell tickets and try to make money, or for charity, or however you want to do it? Or if it would be like a co-op where we would go in with the arena. So like the MMA, I'll give you an example. That's not a rental. That we're doing a co-op with them. So we're actually have a risk in the actual event where we're going to help sell tickets and market it.
Oh, okay.
And in that we help on the rental side, but we also get money on the ticketing side. So there's different ways of doing it, which is great. You just don't have to come in and rent the space.
Yeah.
Some want to do that. Graduations want to do that. Hey, we just want your space.
Got it.
But we also have, like, if you come in and, you want to do a race or whatever, you want to do something gym or CrossFit. I've had a guy come in that wants to do CrossFit. We can put stuff together that way. No problem.
I guess it was Pacifico.
I don't know who it was. It was the guy out of Fallbrook. I don't know who it was. He
Oh,
does
that's not
regionals
Pacifico.
and.
Yeah, because Pacifico rents out the Seau.
Oh yeah. Down in Oceanside.
Yeah. So I was wondering.
So talking about like all of this, different sports and graduations or whatever's coming in, what I've kind of curious in is like the technology of how some of the flooring works nowadays. What do you guys do with basketball court versus the soccer field that comes in? How does that all layered in? Like, what do you guys do for that?
Well, I mean,
Is the
it's
basketball
still manual,
Okay,
right? Like there's
yeah.
a huge manual. So the
Right.
flip of a court's about 3 to 4 hours.
Okay, that's
Wow.
okay.
Right. And that's kind of a jigsaw. You put it all together.
Yep.
And then for the soccer field and the football field, it used to be back in the day, you just roll out turf.
Yeah.
But now they're in squares.
Okay, so they're pieced out.
They're
together.
pieced out.
Okay.
But the deal with them is that you have to start in the center and piece out from the center all the way to the end.
Okay.
So if you're off an
A
inch,
quarter inch.
that means you're off all the way on the and the only way to fix it is to fix it where it's messed up.
Right.
So there's that's a 6 to 8 hour conversion of a soccer field or the football field.
What's that stadium? Isn't there a new football stadium that's being built that the turf gets lowered down into it?
I don't know where it is, but yeah,
I just
or
saw
it rolls
that.
out or something like that.
Yeah, so there's I know at the Arizona Cardinals, their turf completely rolls
Oh,
out of
okay,
the
yeah.
stadium, but
Yeah.
I thought I saw somewhere one of the new stadiums. It might have been the maybe it's the Bills' new stadium that's coming out. Anyway, the turf actually gets lowered down and it gets like automated into certain sections. Like it lowers down on all
Some
these.
Transformer shit.
Yeah,
It's only gonna get better.
yeah. So I figured you guys didn't have that
No, but
technology
we don't
going on,
have that yet.
but
No.
I've always been kind of curious in how much of a like even when you get concerts that come in, you have to take all of that flooring down, so you're all the way down to
Everything comes
base
out. So you just
concrete.
have concrete.
Yeah.
I will tell you also that we are plumbed for ice.
Are you telling us something? Hey,
Oh.
are you telling us
Next
something
thing
but
you
not
know-
telling us
Next
something?
thing you know, the goals are moving up too.
No,
Are
they
you
are
telling
not.
us something
They
but
are
not
not.
saying anything?
I wish they would, but no, we're looking to bring in hockey to Oceanside too.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, Oceanside. Then it opens up. You put ice in, then you can have Disney on Ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Other shows that come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's we talked about soccer and like some of these other sports that are not as popular as they were 10 years ago or 20 years ago, right?
Right.
The San Diego Sockers, they've been around since the 70s and they're barely in the last 10 years have been like blowing up,
Yeah.
right? And I think it's because of the popularity of the sport of soccer,
Yeah.
period, in the United States. We like football, like not soccer, right? And so I love that you're bringing in all these other things into the community. It's awesome because it's very rare that you get an organization that's putting together all these amazing events and doing it with the immersion of the community.
Right.
It's usually like some big organization coming in, the NFL jumping in a stadium there, and it's all outside companies coming in that are benefiting, but Frontway's doing it differently. I applaud you.
We are,
for
and
that.
a lot of people use the phrase of sports, minor league sports.
Yeah.
We don't look at it that way. We look at it, this is our major league.
Yeah.
But in saying that, there's a lot of truth to it in the terms of you need the community backing for all of these sports because they can't make it on their own, whereas the Chargers can make it on their own. The Padres can make it on their own, right? You're going to watch them. It's different for us. There's a very connection to the community based and players and all that kind of connection with the sports that we have in our arena.
That's awesome.
Has just another question on the Sockers, having the new MLS team here in San Diego, has that helped out the Sockers as far as having more? Again, it's when you have more of the same going on and like more soccer going on in town, it usually helps out for everybody. Have you guys seen a little bit of that since both men's and women's top level teams have been in? Has that helped out the Sockers?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think with the move up north, because when we were at Pechanga, we weren't getting a lot of season tickets or even anybody that would come from the north side down there. Yeah. So although we lost maybe 100 season ticket holders down there, we tripled coming up here. So we were 300 down there. Now we're 900 up here. Yeah. But I would say yes. And I think one of the ways that it shows on the soccer thing is that, have you guys been to an STFC game?
No.
Okay. So MLS has completely changed. When I played, we played in Arrowhead. So I was in Kansas City. So we played in Arrowhead, and we used to get 20,000 people, but 20,000 people in Arrowhead doesn't look
like 20,000 people.
It looks like a little section, right?
It looks like 500.
So playing at Snapdragon sold out. So, there's 33,000, 40,000 people in there, right? And they have this supporter section that's thousands of people. Well, a lot of them now have nothing to do. SDFC's done. Well, they want to come to our games.
Wow.
So now we're going to have hundreds of supporters that are going to come that would have normally have done that in our building.
Yeah.
Playing drums, doing chants. We've already got 50 or 60 that are already doing it as SDFC was still playing. So that's one of many ways that it helps us is culturally in the soccer world.
And that's what I was kind of
right. It's a soccer is a cultural thing, right? A lot of Americans haven't grown up in soccer. Like you go to Europe, you go to Mexico, you play. I played down in Brazil. Like it's a completely different ball game.
It's a culture,
and you don't understand it until you live it.
Yeah.
Right. So the World Cup that's why the World Cup coming here is such a big deal because all of that culture is coming here.
Yeah, I think it's going to blow up the sport of soccer in the United States in more ways than one.
100%. Yeah, it's going to be, and that's what happened and that's how the MLS started. So the MLS in '96 started because the World Cup was in '94.
Yeah.
So all of the players that I was lucky to play against all played in the 94 World Cup, like the Valderrama and Campos and all those guys, because they were part of that. And then they came over and played in our league, and our league was started so that Americans had a place to play to get ready for the next World Cup.
Well, I think we talk culturally. I mean, it's interesting now to see from a soccer perspective, Lionel Messi coming over and playing in Miami, right? That was a huge game changer as far as bringing more eyeballs to
soccer,
it's
to
crazy.
the States just by one international player coming here, right? Yeah. And there's been many of them. David Beckham, obviously, back in the early 2000s, coming in that helped out. So, and it helps out San Diego that both the pro teams have done really well.
Right.
I mean, shit, San Diego almost won the championship in the first year, right? So, I mean,
and God knows San Diego needs a winning team.
We do. We do. Because they'll jump on it, right? And I'm a big Padres fan. I have season tickets.
Yeah.
Funny story about Messi is last year they did a celebration of, they call us the 96ers, because the 96ers is the first year that MLS played in 1996.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's when we all started, right?
Right.
Well, us being the 96ers. And so they did a big celebration in Kansas City. So we all went back there. There's a bunch of us that went back there not knowing who we were going to play. I had no idea. I'm just going there to see who got there, found out we were playing Miami. So the Kansas City team was playing Miami, and Kansas City now has their own stadium.
Okay.
So a stadium specific built for soccer that holds 20. They moved it to Arrowhead. The game sold out, 80,000 people with Messi. So I'm there with my daughter. So she's like, Dad used to play. Yeah. I try not to talk really about myself too much. And she's looking out and she sees this huge stadium with 80,000 people. She's like, Dad, is this how it was when you played?
Yes, honey.
No chance. Come on. I said, you see that little section right there behind the goal? That's what it used to be when we were playing. She's like,
I would have lived that one up, dude. Your daughter would have looked at you like if you were God, bro.
So I took her around with all the, we did media and stuff like that, but it was just how far it's come in 30 years from where it was before. And we were very proud of where it was before, but where it is now, it's night and day.
Man. Well, Sean, I want to be respectful of your time, so we'll get you out of here. But thank you so much for finally getting a chance to sit down with us. And I know you're very busy schedule. So
no problem, man. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for having me.
It's cool to have something that's literally right down the street from Omar and I here at the studio and both of our businesses, and to be able to go experience it. And like I said, I've been to a couple of venues. There are a couple shows or venues or events. Thank you. God damn.
I got you, bro.
So it's cool to see that we've got something here locally.
Yes.
And I appreciate you guys working in the community for that. Like Omar said, it's refreshing to see.
It's because that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
And that's the only way really it's going to work, to be honest with you, right? Is if you didn't have the community connected to this arena, it would just be another arena and we probably wouldn't be successful.
Yep. So, but thank you for coming.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I had a great time.